Welcome to Storytime with Miss Hollywood. Welcome all. So, my first story time is going to be for anyone that is pursuing a career in the music industry, um, anything like that. So, when you're dealing with producers and all types of stuff like that, everyone hears all of the scary things that can happen when you're dealing with people in the industry. So I wanted to share an experience of mine that I had. So for many people that actually know me personally, they know that I was at one time pursuing a music career. I wanted to sing so bad. I wanted to, make it in the music industry. So I'm going to start back from, I want to say around 1997, 98, like between 98 and 2000. So I was working with the producer, one of my back then girlfriends that we weren't like close, but we hung together a little bit from time to time. We lived in the same little area. And her boyfriend at the time, got it, she was dating, he was a producer. I will not name him, but he was a producer. And I was like, oh, that was a great opportunity for me to try to create some songs and do all that type of stuff. So we got introduced through her, and we started working together a little later on down the road, and we were creating really, really, really good music. So he was more so producing the tracks, and I was singing. And I did write most of my songs. He might have thrown in like a verse or something like that, or like a, ad-libbed over the hook or whatever. But I, for the most part, even up until this day, I write my own songs and have taught myself to produce a little bit. I'm learning. I haven't done it in a while, but I'm learning. So at that time, we wrote this song. I wrote this song. He produced it. Dope track. And it was called Is It Love? And at that time when I wrote that song, I was madly in love with someone at that time. And I mean, the song, you can just feel, you could feel the love through that song at that time. So we were cranking out hits, and actually I did two songs about them, but never mind. But yeah, so we were working together. I mean, I thought it was good. I always just tried to not like really live with everything that people said about the music business, but just always be, like cautious about people, because, it turned out to be true. So we working together, and then I had moved, and we were still working together, at the new location that I moved to, because they had also moved. So some funny stuff started happening where, I would go to the studio to record, and one time he said, well, you might as well sleep with me now because I'm going to be a big producer. I'm downstairs in the studio with him, and his girlfriend, who was my friend, was upstairs. And this is what he said. I was taken aback. I tried to like giggle it off because I was so uncomfortable. I didn't really know how to, what to say at the time. At that time, like, I don't know. I didn't know how to handle it. So I was like, what? Like, I don't remember exactly what my response was, but it was more like, what, whatever, like whatever. And tried to continue to talk about the track that we were working on. And I don't know, he said it a couple times, and I just kind of, ignored it. But I think that did kind of put a wedge between me and like working with them anymore. Yeah, so when I went home, I just was like, ugh, I don't know what to do. But when you're so hungry and you want to make it and you just want to try to like, say, look, I just want to do music, let's keep it like that. You cool, whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be that way. So we kind of stopped really working together as much after that. But what happened after that situation was pretty weird because at that time I was so new to like the whole process of like getting your work copywritten and all that, right? He said, well, I got to get this stuff copywritten or whatever. I'll do it for you. Don't worry about it. Because I am affiliated with BMI. So he had did like the first couple of things, like he got him copywritten, but I noticed he had to have my social security number in order to do it. I was like, okay, I was a little leery about doing it, but I'm like, all right, I trusted people a little too much at that time. So I later found out that, first off, it was so easy to copyright my own music. But what he did when I got the copy of the copyright was that he added himself and his girlfriend as writers to the song that I wrote. So, yeah, they did that. But it gets worse. Why did they put utility bills in my name using my social security number? Yeah, that happens. So it was so weird. I really didn't know about that until years later that they did the social security thing. And I'm talking about like when I lived, I want to say I moved to North Carolina and then I came back from North Carolina. And it was so weird because then I moved back to PA, and it was funny because I had been working this job and working with this same producer, and I met a guy, cool guy. He was a gay guy, but he was like so cool. And he could sing. I found out that he could sing. We connected at work. We were cool. He was, I told him what I did. He was like, oh, wow, I sing too. So I was like, oh, well, you know what? Let me hook you up with the producer that I'm working with. And I did that. And I'm not sure what happened. All I can tell you is that all of a sudden my music got shelved. Me and the guy were still kind of cool. But it was basically, I guess this guy, the guy that I had met at my job, cool guy, he could sing in like different languages and stuff like that. So he was, he was a very good singer. I'll give him that. But they started working together and he was supposed to be probably global by now. But anyway, so that happened. So that was also fraying the relationship, with me and the producer. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was the advances that I denied or whatever. Later on, though, I want to say around 2006, maybe, I had just got a house, and the people that lived next door to me, they knew him. So I saw him one day outside. He was like, oh, what's going on? And, we talking a little bit or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I got, I want to do something with you, a song, blah, blah, blah. So basically the song that I wrote, he came into my home, but this is what he said. He was like, oh, don't mention this to nobody and don't say. And I was like, okay, it's cool, whatever, So basically the song that I had wrote to the track that he did, that I actually still have today, it was supposed to be written for the group SWV. He had been working with, I guess, working with them on some level at some point. And yeah, so that was weird. I never heard anything about the track. I haven't even looked for it. Don't really care. But my point in saying all of this is that for people that are getting in the music business nowadays, please be careful. Make sure that you have an attorney, that you have some knowledge yourself about what's going on, And don't give out your social security number and things like that. Be careful who you introduce, into like what you're trying to do when you're working with people, because people always don't have good intentions. I confronted the producer probably, I want to say 5 years ago. Flat up denied it, said that I was crazy, didn't know what I was talking about, but I definitely know what I'm talking about. And he did what he did, and that like really made me how I am today with my credit, because I'm like a credit guru. I do not play about my credit. So you guys just pay attention. Don't be so ambitious and anxious and like desperate to get into the business, because there are people out here that will take advantage of you, your talent, everything. And that situation, along with a couple other situations that I have with producers, different producers, definitely helped me make it easier to make the decision that I do not want to do the music business, because I feel like if I can't even trust the damn people that are making the music, to just be professional and try to, let's just make music. I want to make music. That's what I want to do. I want to make music. I want to be creative. If you can't even go in the studio and do that because they're constantly making passes at you and saying, you got to have sex with me in order, for anything, it's just not worth it. I would rather just not be in the business, honestly. Here, what I'm doing now with the Chat with Miss Hollywood, I don't have to, be subjected to have to sleep with someone to make it and do anything. I'm in control, and I'm the boss, and that's what I like. And I will protect my space, and what I do and my craft. So just be vigilant out there, guys, ladies and men, because we all can become victim to this type of predatory behavior from people that are out here, acting as producers, and could be talented at what they do, but they take advantage of that that position that they're in to try to use it to get what they want from people. Needless to say, it never happened with any producer, any of the stories that I will bring to the story time about producers per se. But it's heart-wrenching, and it's sad, and disappointing, because I tend to put a lot of, I give people more credit than they deserve. So yeah, so that is going to be the end of this story time. But yeah, just guys, pay attention to all of you out there. Some people are okay with sleeping their way to the top. I never was, I never will be. It's just not ever what I will do. And just, don't sell yourself short either. You're better than that. You deserve better than that. You deserve to be respected. And your talent and gifts deserve to be respected as well, and not taken advantage of by predators out here doing what they do. So that's it for story time with Miss Hollywood. I'll catch you guys next time with my next story. Until then, have a wonderful day. Mwah! See ya.